Okay, so this is the patch. The original piece is, where is it? It's here. Yeah, there you go. Was that on the top or the bottom? Which bit was it?
Bottom.
Ah, there you go. So that's the original piece, and you can see how bad the corrosion is on it. So Mia's cut that out and replaced it, and you can see there. Look, there's hardly that's not been lead loaded. That's just pure metalwork and welding. He's going over a few tacks, and then he'll clean all that off and do all the bottom. But the repair is unbelievable. And this is using a technique that we saw on YouTube. It's Fritzee's fabrication, I think it's called. I'll write it in. Yeah, Fritzee's, Fitzees', Fritzee's fabrication. And he's got one where he's doing a gas tank and he's doing this. So we tried it, and what it is to, when you put the blade in, instead of using the intergrips across to leave the gap, because obviously if you weld it where it's butted up against it, you're going to have problems of it flexing. And what he does is, you can go and see his channel, but what he does is he puts cuts the piece out, the bad piece out, makes the plate slightly bigger, and then uses the edge of the plate to go in at 45 degrees. So basically what you're ending up with is a 45 degree cut like you would in wood, and then tack it in place and then cut a piece, do a 45 degree, and then push it in and keep doing that, but don't take out too much. But it's better to go and have a look at his. We've got another one on the other car, so Amir's been working on this one because I was going to Vienna today, but it's been cancelled. And then you can see the back, but he rolled that as well. He rolled that in the English wheel before, and there's a few places on this wing, for instance. There's this piece here that's got to come out. This has all got to be repaired here. There's quite a few places, so we're going to use that technique. It works really well. He's got a bit of a strange accent. That's looking nice now. So he's got this gap really nice on it. Yeah, this Fritzee, he's from, I think he's kind of Irish, from the top of Canada, not Alaska, but Newfoundland or Nova Scotia or something. It's a bit hard to understand. And there's another guy called Bad Chad who's got the same. He says care instead of car. But yeah, I mean, their techniques seem to work. So, I mean, that proof of the pudding's in the eating. I mean, look how good that is there. It's unbelievable. You'd think that was the same panel. And we'll come back when that's finished up and let you have a look without any filler. Lead, nothing. We'll just see what it looks like. Okay, so Amir's been working on it. That's it finished now. He's got to do a bit of hammer and dolly in here, but you can see how nice that patch looks and compared to the old one, which is again behind me somewhere. I mean, it's unbelievable that, and there's no filler on that whatsoever. So there's the original. I think it's that way, isn't it?
Yeah. I
think it was that way on, and this piece was damaged as well there. So that's the one that was in it. That's how it looks now, and it's spot on the money. It's going to clean up the back now. But we have another thought here about this stand. So you can see he's just cleaned up the back. You can only see where it's been. But we were thinking about this. What we could even do if we wanted to is to make a... He's going to... If you just lean it over. So you could actually put it over on its side if you wanted to. And we could make an upright stand for it. So what would happen was if you wanted to put it down side on, you could. Not that we maybe need to do it, but so we've got to work on all this now. Lead load all this. This is a repair, and these lead loading. So all the bits that it needs doing, we're gonna have a look, and we can also put the brass ring in here and find out which one of these have to be welded up and which ones we're going to keep. Yeah. Because the problem with the brass rings is you can see there's some holes there and some have still got the rivets in, so we need to clean them out. And obviously these will be worked on, but they're brass, so they're very easy to work on. Okay, one last thing. We're getting a bit short of lead. So these lead bars here, as you can see there, what are they, 2017 73% lead. Now when I bought these bars, the price has gone down of lead obviously, but when I bought these from Frost Restorations, they were £10 a bar. They've gone down to about £8.50 or something now. But obviously the carriage as well is quite expensive, as you can imagine. So I bought 10 of these bars and they weigh 500 grams each. So 10 bars is 5 kilos. So I bought 5 kilos. So we were getting short, and with the Brexit and everything, we were worried about it. So I went down to my local scrapyard where I get all the metal from. This is brand new metal, and they charge nothing for cutting to size, and they only charge scrap value of what it is. It doesn't matter whether it's big box, small, but it's just the weight. And as I said, that was €26 for all of that, every piece, even the round bar stock. So I went down and got this. It's exactly the same. It's exactly the same consistency of tin and lead. And as I said, for those bars, I paid for it for 10 bars. They were £100 plus the carriage. They've gone down, as I said, to about £8.50 now. That's probably the price of lead. But I got 9 kilos of this stuff out of a scrap bin, and it was €5 per kilo, so about £4. So if you work that out for the same amount, it would have been £180 for the bars, and I got the same amount. So it's a massive difference. So what I would do, I'll go to your local scrapyard and see if they've got lead, as long as it's the same consistency, obviously, and buy it from there, because it's ridiculous what it costs in these bars. Shall I get you a rod?
I'll take it, no problem.
You can see nice, and looks like it's almost chrome there. What we can do is we'll take these bolts out here as and when we get up to them. So, just to show you around the back while it's heating that bar up. So there's that repair section. See, that's pretty nice. As I say, that's got no lead in it or anything, it's just the metal. There's a little crease there where we have to put lead in it. And a couple here, a few bits and bobs. But generally, it's pretty good. And it looks nice on against the back of the stand. If you look, there's hardly a gap on it there. A little bit there where that comes down, a bit there. But generally, it's pretty good. So he puts a dollop on there, and then he can, once it starts to melt, you can push it in.
Just
It becomes a bit of an art when you move it. And what we tend to do is use it like a dam. You know, get a bit that's cooler at the back so it doesn't slide off, as you can see. Obviously you have to put more on than you need, because you need to be able to cut it back or file it back with a lead file. And because obviously reapplying it is a problem, because you're going to melt the lead that you've already got, so you tend to have quite a bit of wastage, if you like. I'm afraid that's part and parcel of doing it. But that's got to be reasonably thin on there, because he has to mould that to that shape. So that bit that he's on now is the bit that's under the wing, so it's not too much of a problem, but obviously on the edges is where we have to do it. So On that note, we'll leave it at that. So it's good night from me, and it's good night from him. Take care. So stay safe, keep the faith, enjoy Robbie, guys.